What's going on, guys? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you the first ever Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 1, entitled Sewn Lip Man. And by sewn, it's S-E-W-N, Sewn Lip Man. Obviously, it's the first episode, it's the premiere, right? So before we get right into it, I just want to tell you, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I appreciate every last one of you. Yeah, I'm a little bit late on this one. I currently cannot find my Digivice, my Digital X that I waited so long to get, but those are the breaks. So, yeah, this show has a different feel than the 2020 reboot, because opener is very, for lack of better words, upbeat, fast paced, really great song. Sounds like it's sung by someone who does usually Common Writer intros. So got some notes here, got some written things down here, paper. So let's just go ahead. One of the cool things is throughout the trailer, we see that the lead protagonist is Digimon Gammamon. Looks like he can switch between his champion forms. Those champion forms are confirmed to be on the new Vital Bracelet Gammamon Dim, which a lot of people, you could say that literally this show is just to advertise the second wave of the Dems, or you can just say that the show is just incorporating it. I don't want to say very well because we haven't got enough yet, but incorporating it sounds really interesting. I actually appreciate that. And in the show, they even show the main character, well, one of the main characters, Hiro, trying to change him up in there. So, in this world, we can see that holograms are everywhere. It's a very technologically advanced Japan. Even the police tape is digital. And apparently, we're getting a nice little voiceover saying, hey, people seeing the sewn lip guy. And it's posted on places like, it looks like Twitter. It's supposed to be Twitter, message forums. They use Line in Japan. They really like Line. So Line and this one young lady, I think her name is Rui or Riru. She has a little blog that wants information on stuff like this. Apparently, there's holograms that aren't really holograms; they're actually ghosts. And one of the great things about the intro, which is what I can tell is going to happen here, is that we see all these silhouettes of different Digimon. And if you've seen Digimon, either at any point in time, and if you've gone back and seen Digimon, you know who those shadows are. You even know some of the... They won't show you the full-on body parts, kind of like the last episode of the 2020 reboot. But, you see feet of Angemon. You see a black Tailmon, actually, which is right there, / Black Gatomon. Silhouette of Lady Devimon. Silhouette of Machine Dramon. Metal Seedramon. It's eye candy, and it's tons of eye catches. Smart thing to do would be to change the silhouettes for each intro. At least have 3 or 4 that swap in and out, but that's probably too much production. Anyway, it's mostly young ladies' voices, but there's some male voices. Go ahead and talk about this urban legend of the Sewn Lip Man. And, of course, some young lady walks into an auditorium. She left her little purse there, and it says, hey, first thing that happens is your phone dings. Then the clocks everywhere go crazy. And all this is happening to her in real time. And then someone asks you, what time is it? If you are a Digimon vet, you know that this creature that is a hologram but not a hologram is Clockmon. And this is a very aggressive Clockmon. Clockmon was not like this in Season 3 Digimon Tamers, the one that hung out with Rio. This thing's like, I want your time, hits the girl in the head, and we see her life fast forward above her. It's her graduating, it's her getting older, getting married, and now she's an old lady, and he's literally taking her ones and zeros, absorbing her time, and she's old and decrepit. So, this is followed up by the young lady who's going to be the number 2 or number 3 in the trio that is all over the posters, Rui. She wants to know what's the truth about the Sewn Lip Man. I already told you about her blog, right? Well, the boy lives there. We get our main hero, name's Hiro. He lives at school. He lives in a dormitory. He doesn't say no to anyone. Like his friend, I think his name's Nomura. He asked him for a copy of his homework. He's like, I already knew you were going to do that here. you can copy it, but write it all down yourself. Everything's digital, so they're sending things. It's more or less a mirror of our modern world, but very much futurized. When I mean holograms everywhere, I mean holograms for movies, holograms for a soft serve place, everywhere. And they talk about an ambulance being at their school, and Hiro, he pulls up the phone, looks it up. He's like, yeah, 3 years ago, these ghosts that are holograms but aren't holograms have shown up, and there's glitches in the everywhere, and there's glitches in the hologram. It's a paranormal phenomenon, which this part seems pretty interesting. It means that Digimon have been around for 3 years, and it makes you wonder what else has gone on and why did this start. But they probably will get into the why later. So the rumors are, according to Noruma, is that it's a second year girl. The ambulance came. Everything's blocked off. Then we're introduced to our third year senior, the guy who has his hand wrapped up. I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. They say his last name. Their last names are very, I won't say very Japanese. They're super, super complicated. I'll look them up later, and I promise, excuse me, I promise I'll have them for you next week. But this guy wraps up his hand trying to be cool. He literally is the guy that's trying to be cool. And when our other character, Noruma, brings up, the Sewn Lip Man and the ghost and all that, he's like, hey, don't bring none of that stuff here. He tries to be cool, but he's very chicken. Lets Hiro know that he's in charge of cleaning for the next 2 days, because he is not only the dorm leader, but he wants to become dorm leader there, but senpai when they're in school. Now, one of the interesting things is when we see, well, I'll get to it in a moment. So they're leaving the dorm, they're going to classes, they see this police car. It's obviously, the rumors are very much true that someone did get hurt. And we get a flashback from Hiro. He's at home, and he's calling for his father because he's cooked breakfast, but his father's gone from his room. And we get, in this flashback, we get another flashback of like his dad working on the computers, but all the computers on the floor, and the vital bracelet is sitting in the middle of the room. So of course he called the police. The police are like, well, have you talked to your mom? His mother, which he has, and she's just as shocked, she goes to different countries helping out refugees. I just thought about the implications of that, because we got a lot of those type of characters in the 80s and 90s, like the Anglo-Saxon white women who will go and do a lot of refugee charity work and stuff like that. So I actually wonder about Hiro's heritage, but we'll get into that later. So she goes different countries to do work for refugees. So he's just there. His father counts as a missing person, but he does not give up that vital bracelet that he found in the room. And that was his flashback after seeing the police car. Well, now his friend wants to go and investigate. They're looking at the digital tape. And we get another example before this of a teacher asking Hiro to move some boxes. And he just does it. And the teacher makes his friend help him. He's just like, you never say no. You're like, I guess it just comes from helping my dad. I don't know. That's literally his that's literally his response. So his friend wants to go underneath and go inside, because he wants to add to Lee Ruru, that's her blog name, Lee Ruru's blog. She wants any information. Of course, he has Hiro to help break him into the auditorium. Don't know why this kid has a lockpick set. He tries to say it's because he was helping his dad learn things from his dad. I don't know when your father would have been able to teach you to break into a place between doing his Digimon experiments, which is very obvious, it's Digimon experiments, and disappearing, but whatever. So they're in an old auditorium, they're taking pictures, they're not taking pictures, but they're looking around, and they check their phone. Now, phone is in military time. It's 15:35, which means it's 3:35 in the afternoon. Interesting thing to note, we don't see them in class. We don't get any of the school life. So I found that interesting, but it's nice that they were able to show the passage of time by actually showing us time. Well, their phones start acting up just like with the young ladies, and they know, well, at least Naruma knows the tale of what happens with the Sewn Lip Man. Well, now Everything's going crazy, and of course they hear what time is it. Clockmon comes down and he's saying, "I want both of your times." Unfortunately, his buddy gets hit. He's turned old, and right before he's gonna get Hiro, the lights are turned on. It's a teacher and staff. They're like, "How'd you get in here?" They see that they see the student, so of course he's taken to the hospital, assumedly taken to the hospital because we see other victims later on that were in the hospital. And so now the senpai shows up, and instead of berating him, he gives him a talisman, and he shows that he has on a bunch of talismans, just like in the intro and in the outro. He's a I won't even get into that at the end. I'll wait until he shows up with his Digimon, probably in episode 3. And so he's saying, "Hey, don't I'm just trying to keep you safe, keep everyone safe. With talismans, nothing's gonna get me." Well, Hiro, he then takes the vital bracelet, and for some reason, 3 dims fall on his head. So he's trying to put the dims in, and he hears his dad's voice. It's very Tokusatsu, very common, right? It reminds me of Drive, because it reminds me of Drive and Build, because hey, they use either the inventors use their own voices to speak to the device, speak out of the devices. He puts in he hears his dad's voice saying, "Wrong one, wrong again." And on the third one, he puts it in, and his room is covered in foliage. And there's the black Gammamon wearing a cap and a hoodie. Black Tailmon, if you like the Japanese name, points to the other side of his desk, and that's where we meet Gammamon. Gammamon introduces himself and already knows Hiro, knows his full name, and he's like, "Okay, what the heck's going on?" His father appears behind him. It's actually just a hologram message who just pre-recorded, even anticipating his son getting upset and protesting, saying, "This is Gammamon. You are in the digital world, which is kind of like cyberspace. He's a Digimon, which is short for digital monster. He's also going to be your little brother. Look out for him." And Gammamon is excited for it. He's all in. So his father also leaves instructions for once all this goes away, put the dim card into your vital bracelet again, and you can take it from there. He does just that, and before he does that, though, it's very interesting. He's like, "Okay, Gammamon, are you there?" We get a hologram, very transparent view of Gammamon, and I realized I didn't show you guys pictures for this. Guys, this is Gammamon. Isn't he adorable? I get straight up Vmon vibes from this cutie pie because he's a little dinosaur guy. Vmon technically was a dragon, but still, he's very, very adorable. This is the official Kenji Masuda art right there. But yeah, his hologram shows up, and it's funny because I didn't mention this before, but in the digital world, he was munching on a rock. Just straight up munching on a rock. There's no joke there. So once Hiro puts in the dim card, his body becomes fully real. It goes from the little hologram digitized into real. And this is our boy Clockmon. Look, man, he looks cool. He's kind of cute, but the one in the series is very menacing looking. Like, unbelievably menacing. Anywho, and I do like Clockmon. I find it interesting that they chose to make that one the bad guy. But I digress. Get back to my notes. So, once he is realized, he bites Hiro in the leg, and I think that's his. I remember reading that's what he does. He likes to bite on things. But after he bites Hiro in the leg, he starts going. They get the little Digimon shivers. Hiro's phone goes off again. Window explodes, and it's Clockmon. Clockmon like, "So you can see me," because Clockmon was spying on him earlier when he got away. He wants his time. He loves sapping away the time of humans. Pardon me. And so Gammamon takes the fight to him. He's like, "I want to protect my big brother." Of course, Hiro's going to have to go out and follow. And it's very interesting because this fight is going all around the town. I do find it is quite interesting that the students can leave out that late Because even we see in a show like My Hero Academia, they have things in place of like, hey, you can't really go out late at night. But he went out following his Digimon, fighting Clockmon, and Clockmon's like, I'll just take your time too. Because Gammamon's very vicious, has sharp teeth, clearly a Triceratops herbivore or a Diclops herbivore. Sharp teeth, ready to kill this guy. Even Hiro saying, are Digimon really this bloodthirsty? So Clockmon hits him with his camera just like he's hit all the other victims. And the ones and zeros go up and then they come down into him and he's taking his time. But he can see a silhouette behind Gammamon that looks like this dark, shadowy figure. I'm just going to spoil it now. Gammamon seems to have a dark side and has a dark evolution. So, I probably wrote in my notes somewhere. Nope, I didn't write it here. I'm gonna say it now. I really want another show to like show that just because you have a dark form doesn't mean you're evil. I don't think that's gonna happen here. I think the dark form is gonna be the evil rampaging one as usual. But yeah, that thing gives Clockmon pause, but he's still taking that energy. Meanwhile, Hiro, he's there and he's struggling to want to get involved. So Gammamon is picking himself up and he's moving slowly towards Clockmon. And Hiro is kind of timing his steps as well, moving with Gammamon. And once he gets a little voice in the back of his head, excuse me, back of his head that talks about being his brother, picks up a tree branch, puts it in the ones and zeros, goes up and it comes down a full blown tree. Hiro seems to be pretty smart because he figured that would happen. Gammamon thanks him, goes in for the Bray Claw. Not Bear Claw, Bray Claw. Pretty interesting technique. Better than a straight headbutt. Not as effective as a, fiery breath, but I'll take it because they're doing something unique. And we do get, if you've ever seen Vital Bracelets, the device by Bandai, that's essentially supposed to be like a Fitbit, but with Digimon. He synced up with Hiro because we get the little sync symbol. Gave him power. He even says Hiro gave me extra power for him to pummel Clockmon. And once he breaks one of the hands of his clock face, all of the time that he's stolen from various victims, there's a whole lot of it, just goes back to where it comes from. We even see some people in the hospital. We don't see their faces. We see their hands. Because the crazy thing they did with time was when the dude got old, he grew long fingernails. But we see those hands go back to silky smooth young. Everyone's been fixed, but Clockmon says, I'm going to get your time one day, and just escapes. Which gives me pause. I'm like, wow. I didn't think that the bad guy would get away. But, okay. So, they win, and that's kind of the end of the episode. The ending's very cool. Shows each of the main characters with their 3 Digimon. The Jellymon girl. I don't know the name of the beast one. The big beast one is going with the female character, which is pretty different. They usually don't give male characters visually female digital partners, so that's kind of different. Plus, dude's kind of a scaredy cat anyway. Next episode's gonna have Mummymon, which is funny because when they mentioned Sewn Mouth, I thought this episode would have been Mummymon. But yeah, that was the show. I am reluctant to give it a grade because it's the first episode. I think I'm going to grade episodes 1, 2, and 3 all together. Personally, I enjoyed it. I'll give it a 3. It didn't do anything spectacular, but it didn't really fail at anything. I do appreciate the opener and the ending songs for being really good. Let's go to my notes. What's the good? The good is, we're going to see a bunch of mons that we recognize, whether it's from the older shows or whether it's from the games. That is a guarantee. It looks like our protagonists as Digimon have multiple forms, thanks to it being a dim card, and I guess, in the games, and even the digital games, once they evolve, they keep going, and you can just reset them. But I appreciate that now we're taking the concept that they kind of touched on in Adventures 2020, where it says, hey, based on your environment, your Digimon can turn into something different. They always revert since it's in the show because you gotta sell something with the little cute digital monsters. But I find it interesting. I like Gammamon's little Triceratops. Look like he has a vapes for horns. The very humanoid one. I'll show the evolution forms as they come. And he has a jet bird one that looks pretty interesting too, and of course the dark one. So interested in seeing what the big guy turns into. Gives me Chopper vibes because it looks like he's gonna have a skinny form that runs. The Jelly Girl turns into a more adult Jelly Girl. Uh, the art is unique. I will definitely give it that. And here's the bad. I'm worried that this is gonna be like Yokai Watch slash Cross Wars. Cross Wars was trying to very much dig into the Yokai Watch fandom. It's like, hey, levels don't matter. It's all about the creatures. This creature, this cute creature can beat this cool, scary creature. I'm afraid that's going to happen. Because if Gammamon takes on Mummymon and doesn't evolve, I don't really care if you get a boost from your partner. That should still be impossible. For those of you who don't know, Mummymon is an ultimate level Digimon. So I have no problems with different levels showing up. But if this turns into cross wars where the levels don't matter, ooh, it's going to feel like a step back again. Seems like, and I put this in best, seems like the plot's kind of hot-shotted, maybe. I'm going to assume that the overarching plot is going to be what happened 3 years ago for Digimon to show up. Why did Hiro's dad know about the digital world? How did he meet Gammamon? Did he have a hand in creating it? Does it stem from the chaos that happened at the end of 2020 where Negamon said, I'm going across... Negamon's literal encyclopedia says he goes across all universes and alternate dimensions and can destroy those too. So, maybe it had something to do with that. I do appreciate the art being different from usual Digimon series. The old ones and the 2020 ones I appreciated being different. I do like Gammamon, like I've said several times. I don't know. I like how do I put this? Typically, these shows put in devices and MacGuffins so they can sell the MacGuffins. I like that something that was already made and is saying, hey, Ghost Game's going to tie in with our second Vital Bracelet. It's already, I think they're coming out this month in Japan too. And if you pre-order, you can get them in America too. But I like that they're like, hey, here's the thing that you know. Here's how we're going to apply it in the TV show. I appreciate that. I actually like that. I really hope this isn't just a ghost game where it's like, this week, here's this urban legend. Let's figure out what Digimon is connected to and let's solve it. I don't know how you're going to solve things if we're having Clockmon run. Mummymon's probably going to toy with them. There's no way that you're going to beat him off the bat. I don't care how much running you do with your Vital Bracelet and your buddy. There's no way that he should be able to beat him this early. I do like... The one thing I liked about Cross Wars, I want to say Season 3, or the official title, Hunters Beyond Time or something. The one thing I do like from there is that the digital world overlapped into the real world for them to interact with them and have their little Hunters Wars. I do get that feel from in here, where it's like, you put it in, you got your bracelet. Cool, now you're in the cyberspace version of our world. They're probably going to have to start switching battles to there, or else the real world's going to get a lot of damage. It's pretty interesting that the Digimon seem to be overtly evil. Like Clockmon, you saw him. The original picture of him does not have him being all that evil. As a matter of fact, just to keep up with what I normally do, I think it's official that I have to read the encyclopedia for Clockmon, if you don't mind, since there's no more encyclopedia. Clockmon is the protector of time that governs the computer's timer. It manages the time and space of all computers and networks, and if it is between 1900 and 1999, is able to freely advance and rewind time. Because it possesses an extremely dangerous, terrifying ability, it always maintains a neutral standpoint and doesn't participate in conflict between vaccine and viruses. Oh wow, he is a data champion, champion machine Digimon. For that reason, it said that if it ever tilts towards either side of the balance, the digital world will collapse. His special move is destroying the time flowing through the opponent's body, Chrono Breaker, and it is impossible for a Digimon whose time was frozen with this attack to recover. It's impossible, but Gammamon did it. Just saying, guys. But yeah, he showed up in Tamers. First time he ever showed up, episode 40. It's a cute guy. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna be kind and read these other characters' names. There's Ruli and there's Kiyoshiro. That is the older senpai. Let's go ahead and go to Gammamon real quick. I'm pretty sure they have something here. Oh, they're just talking about how he came to Hiro. I don't know if there's any official word on just the Digimon itself, but we're gonna find out. There is something. Let's hear about Gammamon real quick. A very unusual young white ceratopsian Digimon that was recently discovered. Evolution to Gammamon is said to be linked to digital signals that come from extragalactic space. Wow. I guess this is building off of the lizard men theory. The two horns that grow from its brow are useful for weapons, offense, and defense. It's also capable of flying a short period with tiny wings. I didn't know it had wings on its back. I'm gonna have to actually look for that now. It rarely shows its emotion, but it seems that once you reach out to it, it will gradually become attached to you. Special move is attacking with its two horns called Horn Attack. It's a Pokemon move. And in addition, it's Break Claw, which it unleashes the claws on its left hand that are with its accumulated energy into one powerful technique. I have names for its evolutions. There's Betel Gammamon, Groose Gammamon, Kas Gammamon, and Wizen Gammamon. I'm gonna assume that Wizen Gammamon is the bad one. I'm just want to do a quick click, and I'm gonna click it live. No, it's not. It's the one that said looks like a vape. Here, check out the vape one. It's funny. Anyway, guys, that's the review. Overall, this first episode, I'll give it a 3. It's average. It was not bad. I encourage you to please watch it for yourself. I will figure out how I feel about the series as a whole by giving it 3 to 5 episodes. 3 to 5 episodes, you definitely get a feel for a show. It was the same for the Digimon Adventure 2020. It'll probably be the same for this. Please let me know what you thought of the show in the comment section down below. As always, give me a like. Likes really help the channel out. Excuse me. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you aren't subscribed, hit the notification bell. We're going to do these every single Sunday. Share the video so others can see what a great time we're having and join in the discussion. As always, I appreciate every last one of you. Please be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear your mask, be safe out there, be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way, don't be a jerk, and I will definitely see you next time.